Welcome to this episode of Kerie's Quick Tarot, or maybe this one may be a little bit longer, so it may be an episode of Living Tarot. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm just going to light a little piece of sage, okay, to clear the energy in my space. So let me do that. Okay. That's it. Just a little sage. Get the area. And have something to keep it safe. Sage outside of my car. Lots of energies walking around my vehicle, walking around me. I like to sage every now and again because it helps clear my energetic field. So I'm so happy and grateful that I'm experiencing abundance of love, joy, peace, great health, great wealth, knowledge of self, amazing opportunities, and amazing people in my life. So if you resonate with that, then perhaps we can communicate about that. All right? So yeah, let me just do this a little bit. Saging the area. Okay. This is probably going to be a little bit of a lengthy video just because I have a little time and I want to take my time. So for those of you out there who don't mind spending a little time with me, then welcome. Okay? Put this back up. All right. All right. Light this again. Today's a little overcast. But that's okay. I'm so happy and grateful for all of the seasons. Hey, for whoever's joining in. I'm just saging my space right now in my vehicle. There's lots of energies that walk around my vehicle on a daily. And sometimes it's good to just take a piece of sage and just kind of cleanse the area. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm going to pull some tarot cards. So for whoever might want to hang out for that, by all means, hang out for that. And if you're in resonance with me in this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Okay? So, again, this is a piece of sage. Just want to clear my energetic field as well as the energy in my vehicle. All right. So, thanks for hopping on, for those of you who are joining. So, I just wanted to come on and just express how grateful I am. How grateful I am for what? To be alive. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm experiencing an abundance of love, joy, peace, great health, great wealth, knowledge of self, amazing opportunities, and amazing people in my life. Because sometimes, you know, on this journey, life's journey, we can interact with some folks who don't really mean us any good. And so every now and again, it's good to take a moment to reset your energetic space and to just find gratitude in your heart for whatever it is that you might be grateful for. So whatever it is that I might be grateful for in this case. And I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful to be alive. There's been a number of situations that have seemed to be I'd say, attacks on me. Why? Who knows? But I'm so happy and grateful that none of them were successful because I'm here. You're here. Yeah. What do you do in a situation when you discover some things because you're a bit clairvoyant? And you may discover some things about individuals in your life who pretend to love you. What do you do in situations like that? When you actually discover that that is what's going on. That the love that people claim that they have for you is actually not genuine. When you discover that, what do you do? Well, we all have our different ways of coping, our different ways of managing ourselves through disappointment. It's finding ways to be grateful for what is. Just going to light this little piece of sage again. And I'm grateful for those of you who are tuning in. This is really a slower paced video. Okay, I'm just hanging out in my car right now, taking a little me time. Sometimes you need a little bit of me time in your day. And I'm just taking this time to show some gratitude, to express some gratitude. And I'll eventually get to a card pull. But I needed to just take some time for myself and sage my space, sage my vehicle, and get grounded, right? Lots of things happen in our day-to-day lives that can impact our ability to be grounded. And so it's always, from my perspective, a good idea to just take some time to pause and get yourself grounded in whatever ways it is that makes sense for you. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Now, I have some notifications that just keep popping up, and I thought I had put on the do not disturb. So I'm really hopeful that it's not cutting off the video. But if it does, I'll do my best to try to make them, swipe them away so that I can continue this. Yeah, so I just wanted to come on here because one of the things that I have experienced, because we all, in our day-to-day, there's ups, there's downs, right? But what do you do when you find yourself in a situation where the people that you thought loved you start showing signals and signs that that's not the case? What do you do? Right? I'm not really checking the chat, but I do see it in motion, so thank you for whoever's in there. And if this video resonates with you at all, consider giving it a thumbs up. That helps. Thank you. And subscribe to my channel for more. But what do you do? Do you have anybody to talk to in that type of a situation? What if you discover that the person that you felt was the one you could talk to might be in that category of individuals who may not really be so genuine about loving you? Hey, things happen, right? The question is, what do you do when those things happen? How do you manage your energy? One of the things that I like to do is to get grounded. So that's what I'm doing. And I also like to get some insight. So one of the things that I am going to do is pull some cards. Okay? But before I pull some cards, I do want to take a moment. I have something that I wrote here. And I'm just going to read that. So bear with me for whoever's tuning in. Okay. All right. And it's something that I was inspired to write out a few weeks ago. Okay. And so I'm just going to read this now. It says, I do not consent to the stalking, hacking, tracking, illegal monitoring of me or my children. I do not consent to that. I do not consent to any insurance policies of any kind having been taken out on me or any of my children. I did not consent to that. So if there's anything of the sort, it does not have my consent. I have not given consent, and I do not consent to anyone copying my energy, my likeness, or my voice. If you would like to support me in my efforts, you can purchase something from my website at legacykeyleaf.com, or you can send a Cash App donation to $legacykeyleaf. Okay? If you would like to support me in my efforts. Just wanted to take a moment to say that. I also do not consent to anyone forging my information for their personal gain. Okay. So now that we got some of that housekeeping in the way, and I've saged my space, I'm feeling better. Sometimes a little sage clearing can do that. So if you are looking for some sage bundles or loose sage, I'll show you what I have here. A little jar of just loose sage. I have it on my website. You can just do a search and hopefully you can find something there that may resonate with you. All right. So, thank you for being here with me. I'm going to pull some cards in just a moment. So just bear with me. Again, this is a slower paced video because I want to take my time. There are other videos that I have where I may be in a different type of an energy. But today, I just want to take my time. So, thanks for hanging out with me, whoever hangs out and whoever pops on. So, let's see. I have this deck here that I was inspired to put together. And this deck is based on street signs, okay? I have been doing some traveling over the course of the past couple of months. And in my travels, there have been some street signs that I have passed and was nudged to write down, okay? So I have a deck of street signs, okay? And this may or may not resonate with whoever is tuning in, all right? But this is something that may help someone out there who may be going through something. Now you may say street signs, what are you talking about? Well, in my movement, if I'm inspired to write something down, I do it. And these particular street signs that I passed, I was inspired to put together a deck for. So I'm going to shuffle this and we'll see what comes out for whoever's tuning in. And this video is for entertainment purposes, so take what resonates and leave the rest, okay? But this may have some information bits for someone out there. And so it is my, I wouldn't say duty, but it is my inspiration to pull these cards. So let's see what's going on. This away. Thank you. All right. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. Of this deck, what are the cards that are relevant for whoever might be tuning in, that may be looking for some guidance, some insight? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Everybody's story is different. This is not a personal reading. This is a collective, okay, for whoever may be resonating. And we have this card that came out, St. Paul. All right. So St. Paul. So as these cards come out, I'm just going to put them down, okay? So perhaps in whoever is resonating with this reading, there may be someone or a location with this name, St. Paul, okay? So whether that's a church, a school, an actual person, whatever the case may be, perhaps there's a St. Paul involved. Okay. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. Please help guide this. Thank you. All right. We've got this monarch. Okay. So perhaps there's something to do with the monarchy. All right. So we've got St. Paul, we've got monarch. Let's see how this story shapes up. And hello to whoever is tuning in. Thank you for being here. And if this resonates with you at all, consider giving it a thumbs up. Thank you. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. Please help guide this. In this deck, what are the cards that are relevant for this particular reading? Thank you. All right. Well, I just kind of threw that off to the side. Let's see if I can find it. All right. Okay, it says Gothic Knights. Okay, so perhaps there's a group that's related to this, Gothic Knights. Okay, so we've got St. Paul, we've got Monarch, and then we've got Gothic Knights. Okay, so again, these cards were inspired from street signs. As I've been traveling to different areas, different locations that stood out, I was guided to create this deck from. All right. So Source, higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. Please help guide this. Thank you. Are there any other? Okay. We've got the name Benjamin. Okay. So perhaps there's a Benjamin that is related to this message in some way, shape, or form. And then we've got Midtown, all right? So to recap, we've got St. Paul, Monarch, Gothic Knights, Benjamin, and Midtown, all right? Source, higher self, Holy Spirit, guides. At the bottom of the deck, we have treasure. So perhaps there's something of value that is of interest to whoever's resonating with this message. Okay, we've got something to do with a monarch. We've got something to do with knights, Gothic knights. And there's a St. Paul. And then there's a Benjamin. All right. And treasure. Let me take this out. Oh, I'm going to share them. All right. Let's see if those come out. If that comes out. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit, guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. Please help guide this message. Thank you. We've got the word old. Okay. So perhaps there's something to do with this storyline that is old. Okay? Old. Perhaps the people involved might be up in age. Or perhaps Not quite sure. Let's get some more insight. Where does this fit? Old. All right. We've got St. Paul, Monarch, Gothic Knights, Benjamin, Midtown, Treasure, and Old. So perhaps there's some type of treasure in this situation that's old, having to do with a monarch. Let's see. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, thank you. Please help guide this message, thank you. Are there any other bits of information that's related to... The word pigs came out, okay. Pigs. All right, so perhaps, this word can mean a lot depending on the context. So without really having a context right now, not quite sure where to place this, but pigs. All right, so perhaps maybe people, I know some people eat pigs, some people farm this animal, some groups of people may be referred to, as this type of animal. And when I say that, sometimes it's from a not so nice perspective, a bit derogatory. There's some, agencies that may be considered as this, pigs. So when I see this, I'm thinking perhaps some dirty cops, maybe. All right. And look at that. We've got pirates at the bottom of the deck. So okay, I'm going to take this out because we had treasure. We had an old treasure. We've got pirates and we've got pigs. It's like, how does this all piece together? We're going to find out together. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. And if this is inspiring you in any way, shape, or form, or resonates, consider giving this a thumbs up or share the video or subscribe to my channel. Thank you. All right, let's see if there's any other bits of information, and then I will recap. All right. So we've got a story that's developing here, okay? Something to do with pirates, so theft, okay? Something to do with perhaps some dirty cops that are referred to here as pigs. And then we've got some type of an old treasure that is of interest, okay? And then we've got something to do with a monarch, okay? And then we've got the names St. Paul that came out, Benjamin that came out, and then we've got something to do with some Gothic Knights, and then Midtown. All right. So perhaps this, and then we've got Q at the bottom. All right. I'm going to leave that in there. We'll see if it comes out. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. There's a story that's shaping up here. I'm going to find out what that might be. Something to do with a monarch. So perhaps there's some folks who are trying to steal somebody's fortune. Some folks who are trying to pirate something to do with a monarch, a monarchy. Someone who has some treasure, and perhaps that treasure is old. So sometimes when there's something that has accumulated in some way, shape, or form, might be some people that want to steal it. And sometimes they may get help or assistance from some dirty, cops. Interesting. Source, higher self. Because if they get help from that type of group, folks who don't have integrity, then they are given access to information that would then help them steal. Source higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. So we've got St. Paul, a monarch, Gothic knights, somebody by the name of Benjamin. We've got Midtown. We've got a treasure, an old treasure. We've got some pigs and some pirates. Source higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. So what is this treasure, this old treasure that they're looking to steal? And why? Why do they want to steal something? And who might it belong to that they're trying to steal it from? Trying to. Or tried to. Right? Source higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. Are there any other cards related to this? This is a lot of cards, so I'm trying to shuffle this thick deck with a lot of cards, and my hands are not that large, but I'm trying. Source higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. Are there any other cards related to this storyline? Thank you. So we've got something to do with the monarchy. We've got a St. Paul, so perhaps that's a location like a church, a school. Perhaps that's a person. We've got something to do with knights. And then we had Gothic out here. Let's see. Pharaohs. Ooh. Now when we bring up the word pharaohs, that is old treasure stuff, right? We're talking about pharaohs. That goes along with this here, with a monarchy. Okay. So it appears, based on what's come out so far, that there is some type of an old treasure that some pirates and some dirty cops are trying to steal from someone who has some status, okay? So perhaps this monarch, or perhaps it's a pharaoh. Perhaps it was one and the same. Okay? And it has something to do, there's a St. Paul, somebody by the name of Benjamin, we've got some Gothic knights. Or perhaps the word Gothic is separate from the word knights, whatever. Something to do with Midtown. So Midtown, lots of areas have a Midtown. So when I think Midtown, because I'm from New York, I think Midtown Manhattan, but that doesn't mean that has anything to do with this at all. We've got sweet water at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to leave it there. Let's see. Source higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. And again, this deck was put together based on some street signs that I passed over the course of several months. I would see a sign that seemed interesting, and then I would just write it down. So powers. So perhaps there's something to do with people who want to steal and use resources, okay? This referencing like some corrupt officials, okay? To steal somebody's treasure, okay? In order to get some powers, okay? And who would have powers, right? It would be someone who has a status of a monarch or pharaoh. I'm going to keep those two together. Okay, dokie. So let's see what else comes out. And we've got foul mouth at the bottom. So perhaps there's somebody that has a foul mouth that has something to do with this. I'm going to take that out. Well, perhaps one of the pirates or the pirates have a foul mouth. Do it Mount Vernon, perhaps? I don't know. It's a location. Let me see if that comes out. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other cards that are relatable to this particular story? All right. Let's see. Whoa. We've got this card that came out, Mason. So perhaps it has something to do with someone by the name of Mason. I don't know. The name of, or perhaps an affiliation with a group. Okay. So we've got Mason. We've got some foul-mouthed pirates working with some corrupt officials to get their hands on an old treasure, because, you know, that would in some way, shape, or form allow them to think that they would have some powers, right? And then we're dealing with a pharaoh, a monarch. We've got some Gothic knights in here somewhere. Something to do with Midtown. And we've got two names here. We've got St. Paul, and then we've got the name Benjamin. So let's see what else might come out. Look at that. We've got fishermen. Well, I'm going to take that out because that will go along with pirates. I mean, the pirates got to eat something, right? We got the pirates, and perhaps they're fishermen who happen to be foul-mouthed masons working with some corrupt officials. Or perhaps they are the corrupt officials seeking someone's powers. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. We've got the word mirror. Okay, so perhaps there's something to do with a mirror. I know in some cases people like to do mirror magic. Okay, for those of you who are aware of any type of metaphysical concepts, you know, some warlocks and witches may do mirror magic. And what does mirror magic allow them to do? It allows them to peer into someone's personal space. Okay? So perhaps there's something to do with a mirror. Mirror magic. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. And again, these were street signs that I passed over the course of several months. It took me to come up with this deck. As you can see, there's a lot of cards here. And so they're just randomly coming out. And I just dropped one that fell on the side. So let's see what that is. If I can reach it. And this says Titan. Titan. So I'm not quite sure where this fits, but perhaps it has something to do with Titans. And that's kind of an old phrase, right? Titans. And then at the bottom of the deck, we've got Freezer. Interesting. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. And I think I'll recap this, and then we may be done soon. I might be done soon. We've got the word awakened that came out. So perhaps, and swagger. So perhaps in this particular story, whoever this might resonate with had to kind of wake up to some things that was going on in their experience. Okay? And sweater. Not quite sure if that's a name, if that's something to do with their style. But whatever the case is, somebody has some swag. But perhaps you had to wake up to what was going on around you in order to become, to do something about it. You know, what would that do something about it be? It's different for all of us, right? But for whoever this story is resonating for, there's a lot going on. There seems to be some corruption. There seems to be some type of issue here where people are using mirror magic in order to peer into your space, in order to see what they can do to steal from you. And then the word coven is at the bottom of the deck. So that is basically in alignment with the concept of someone using mirror magic, because coven, who's associated with covens? Witches and warlocks are associated with covens. Coven is basically their church, okay? So we're people who, or synagogue or temple, okay? Witches and warlocks call them covens. And we've got cocks at the bottom of the deck. Cocks. So perhaps something to do with cocks. Interesting. That could go in a couple of different areas, you know. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. Is there any other bits of information for this particular reading? Thank you. If so, please let it be made known. And thanks for those of you who are still hanging out with me. Source, higher self. Oh goodness. I'll put these back because they did not flip over. So, Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me, please help guide this message. Thank you. Thank you. Are there any other cards from this deck? Thank you. If not, I will recap. Thank you. All right, we might be wrapping this up. Let's see. Thank you. Because I don't want to just. If it comes out, it comes out. If not, okay. All right. A few things. Heist. Heist. So that goes along with pirates stealing an old treasure that has something to do with a pharaoh or monarch. Seems there's a bit of a heist, some thieves, some theft that some folks are attempting. Failed attempt, I would say. And then we have the word diamond. Okay, so the word diamond. So perhaps in this treasure, perhaps there's diamonds. Perhaps there's other things that would fall under the umbrella of it being a treasure. But there's some type of a heist that someone is experiencing, that folks are trying to get away with. That, of course, they will not get away with. No matter how many corrupt officials may be involved with with the attempt. No matter how many witches and warlocks may be attempting to participate in said event. Okay? All right. Some other cards came out. I'm going to put them back. I'm going to recap. Oh, wait, what's this? This word came out. Sip. What does this have to do with anything? Is somebody drinking something? Sip. I'm going to sip on something. What would this mean in relation to this whole story? I'm going to leave it in here. And then gamble. And then we'll land on freezer. Okay. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to recap. Okay. Because there's something that's going on right now, or in somebody's energy, that it seems that there's some corruption and some type of a heist at play. Okay? So, let me recap. These cards are all over the place. I'm just going to collect them and I'm going to just read them. There will be no order to this at all, okay, because they're all mixed up. Okay. So we've got a St. Paul. We've got something to do with knights or Gothic, okay. There's some type of a heist. Some thievery, right? We've got a someone by the name of Mason, or perhaps someone who might be in a group called Mason. We've got some dirty officials. Well, they're not official. Some corrupt individuals who have held positions. I'll call them dirty cops, okay? Something to do with SIP. Not quite sure what this would mean in relation to this. Maybe this is an acronym for something, SIP, or maybe it's something SIP. Someone might be drinking something but through a straw or something, sipping. I don't know. I'm just pulling some cards and being a messenger right now. We've got something to do with a freezer. We've got some mirror activity going on. So I had mentioned that perhaps there's some mirror magic that may be happening or has happened to someone. We've got somebody with a foul mouth. Some gambling. We got a coven involved. This is a church of witches. It's called a coven. Something to do with diamond or diamonds, which would be a treasure. And perhaps someone has awakened to this scenario of a story that has been happening in their energy. Okay. Something to do with a titan. We've got some pirates, some thieves, some fishermen, thieves. We've got a treasure. Something to do with midtown. So around town, midtown, middle of town, a middle town. We got powers. Okay, so there's some powers that are at play here, where folks may be trying to steal power. There's somebody by the name of Benjamin that has come out here. And then we've got a monarch. Got some pharaohs. the word old. So, old treasure, a monarchy, the pharaohs, it's all old, meaning ancient, okay? And then we've got swagger. Whoa, this is juicy, okay? So hopefully this bit of information might be helpful for whoever might be looking into this type of a story, okay? Sometimes I consider myself a bit of an investigator of sorts, a self-proclaimed psychic investigator of sorts. And so I'll leave that there. Perhaps these cards are pieces to a puzzle for someone out there in their search for answers. Okay? So I feel good. Thank you so much for your time. For those of you who hung out with me here, I think I might come back online. I'm not quite sure. I'll see how I feel. But this was good for me because it actually helped give me some insight into some things that I'm working through. So thank you so much for that. And you know what? I'm going to pull a little bit of tarot. Let's see if there's any tarot that's in association with this message. Source higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. We just went over some pretty heavy details of somebody's story out there. Is there anything from the tarot that can be delivered as a message for whoever is tuning in and resonating with this? Thank you. Oh, well, look at what's at the bottom of the deck. We got the devil. So there's some evil afoot. Okay? There's some individuals who are bound together in some wickedness. Okay? And they are, I'm going to take this out. And they are attempting to have some type of a heist. They're trying to steal something from someone. All right? So hopefully this message is something that can help whoever is tuning into this become awakened to the information. Okay? So I'm hopeful that this was helpful for somebody out there. Okay? So just be aware that there's some folks out there who are in wicked energy and are trying to steal from you. Okay? And what are you going to do about that now that you're aware? Let's see if anything else comes out. There's some folks walking by that don't need to be in my camera feed. Source, higher self, Holy Spirit guides, angels of the highest vibration, ancestors who love me. Please help guide this message. Thank you. Is there anything else from the tarot that is resonant with this message for whoever it is that is tuning in? Look at that. Queen of Pentacles energy, High Priestess. What does this mean? That means that perhaps the folks that are trying to steal are trying to steal it from the Queen of Pentacles. This is someone who is a boss in her own right, okay? Someone who is a leader, someone who has a lot of resources. And in this story, we discover that there's some type of an old treasure involved that folks have attempted a a failed attempt, but nevertheless made an attempt to steal. Dealing with some corrupt officials. No, they're not officials. Some corrupt pigs is what the card was that came out. Okay? And the person that they're trying to, or they tried to steal from, is someone who's highly intuitive, someone who's balanced, someone who's in high priestess energy. Okay? And so I'm going to give you some more context for these two cards. So bear with me to get my book. I want to read to you so you kind of have some insight. Let's see. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm trying to find Queen of Pentacles. I'm going through this book. This book is called the Tarot Bible. And if you're looking for any resources for tarot, visit my website at Legacy Key Leaf. All right, I have different resources there. All right, now let's see. That might be helpful for you. All right, Queen of Pentacles. Okay. This is someone who's dependable, nurturing, warm-hearted, sensuous, generous, and an earth mother. Someone who takes a realistic view of life, someone who has a matter-of-fact attitude, someone who's reliable and loyal, feeling secure and home-loving, genuine desire to help other people, a lover of animals and children, someone who's creative and resourceful, okay? So these wicked people are trying to steal from this Queen of Pentacles energy. We've got the High Priestess. Let's see what that's about. Let me find that card. One of the major arcana cards. I probably passed it already. Okay, High Priestess. Okay. We've got the High Priestess card. So this is, let's see. This is someone who, okay, it says intuition, someone who's a healer. I have these things that keep popping up, so hopefully it's not pausing the video. But someone who's a keeper of secrets. So it means trustworthy. Well, should be trustworthy. Someone who is has intuition, someone who's a healer, feminine power, silent potential, the unconscious, hidden motivation, mysterious influences, and developing talents. Okay, so this is someone who's in Queen of Pentacles energy, High Priestess energy, okay? And someone who trusts their intuition, all right? And these individuals here who are chock full of the devil, wicked, wicked people, are trying to steal from this Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess person. As the word heist came out, okay? And it may have something to do with a group of pigs. And they just kind of want to drink something. Ooh, that sounds real wicked. Because what do these people, these wicked energies, like to try to sip on? I don't even want to say it. Whoa. They're using mirror magic. They're gambling. It's a coven. We had the treasure out here. They want to, ooh, that's wicked. They want to sip from the high priestess, the Queen of Pentacles, they want to, that's wicked. They're trying to basically take her life force. Sip on the life force. Vampiric, very vampiric. So perhaps we're dealing with some energetic vampires, okay, who want to drain someone for their energy. So that, but why? Why do energetic vampires want to sip and drain someone of their energy? Well, so that they can then try to swap out and take someone's powers. Especially if it's someone who has a status of monarchy or pharaoh, someone who has perhaps an old soul. Whoa, look at that. So, there's a treasure involved. These people want to steal it. So perhaps you're resonating as being in this Queen of Pentacles energy, this High Priestess energy, a balanced person who's intuitive and who is an earth mother of sorts. Stable, has some stability that they want to shatter. So I rebuke that. And I return all intentions of wickedness back to the senders of it. They can experience what it is that they're trying to take from whoever is their target, right? Because why should they get away with anything? These fishermen, pirates, why should they get away with anything? With anybody's treasure, anybody's old treasure. Why should they get away with anything? They don't. So anyone in my experience that is attempting to steal from me, then whatever that intention is that they have sent in my direction, it doesn't belong to me. I return their intentions back to them. And so, if this is resonating with whoever is watching this video and you find yourself in a situation where, folks may be trying to steal from you, then my admonition would be for you to, recall your power back. Okay? You don't have to be a victim of anyone trying to take from you. Okay? And so, now that you are aware, or now that you're aware, for whoever's watching this or resonating with this, take your power back. Okay? It's yours. If it was yours, right? If you didn't take it and it's yours, then the individuals who may be attempting to create some type of heist to steal it from you are irrelevant. Okay? They're irrelevant and are to be dealt with accordingly. Because for me, I give my ancestors, my spirit team, and all of the energies that ride for me permission to get karmic justice on my behalf for any shenanigans of anyone that was trying to create any type of theft, in my experience, from me. So I'm so happy and grateful to be made aware of those types of situations so that I can do something about it. And sometimes the doing something about it is acknowledging, being awakened to it, and then being able to recall your power back. Okay? So, anyway, thank you so much for spending all of this time with me. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing, okay? I'm going to pop on again, and, as I'm inspired to share some more of these types of readings, I will do so. This is called Living Tarot, okay? And thank you for your time. I'm Kerie Crystal Moonrise, and this has been very eye-opening for me and confirming in a lot of ways. They in trouble. That's all I can say. All right. Take care, and thanks again. Like the video if you haven't already done so, and watch the replay, share it, subscribe. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay. Take care, y'all.